8 a.m. Central to talk about what it's like to build a team and all the successes and failures we've gone through.
Nice. Robert, you're fired. Don't even come back. We're taking over.
To anyone out there, everybody send prayers.
Hey, don't threaten Robert with a good time. He might be
right.
All right, I don't know.
He'll try to one up.
Later.
Anyone out there that you guys seeing this, please make sure you guys send prayers. Robert's actually at the hospital with his second child, so everybody send good thoughts.
Send him some prayers and love for sure.
Excited. And happy birthday!
Maybe Robert's hair will fall out this time, like mine did. So it doesn't get for my hair to fall out.
Wouldn't count on that.
So, and happy birthday, Walt.
Happy birthday to Walt's mom. Today is my mother's birthday as well.
Walt's mom, happy birthday. We love you, Walt.
My grandmother's birthday will be in 2 days. It's weird how we're all right there together. She'll be 83 on the 31st. 83. She's there just rocking it out.
That's fantastic. Go her. Our grandmother like that though. Irene knows our father's mom. She's just turned 80, 81. Man, she is on. Like I can barely get her on the phone sometimes because she is
Grandma Rose.
She is constantly going and attending church and helping watching my kids, and I hope I'm like that at that age. I really
because she's mean.
Is that what it is? Well,
it is. It's the German in her. No, I'm serious. It's the German in her. She's a little firecracker and she's small. So yeah, that's what it is.
It's fine. My grandmother, my whole life until finally, like in her, 70s, finally retired and moved in with my aunt and uncle here. She worked 2 jobs her whole life. Like 2 full-time jobs her whole life. And then she'd go home at the end of the day. Love her to death. She would go home at the end of the day, pop a huge bowl of popcorn, fill up a 32-ounce travel mug of Dr. Pepper, go sit in her bed. That was dinner, reading romance novels in her bed, popcorn and Dr. Pepper forever.
Sounds amazing.
People were like, how could you possibly? Because she worked 2 full-time jobs. She can eat whatever the hell she wants.
Right? Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, crazy. Crazy gal.
Someone apparently loves Irene's fish tank. So I don't know who that is, but Irene, they're admiring.
Making an appearance. If I can turn my camera. There you go.
Nice.
Our little fishies.
Good stuff.
Okay, so we made it. Did anybody fill out the form? Because I know I forgot. So
I did.
Well, of course you did, Walt.
I did fill out the form. I was really hoping Robert would have to read it, but it's okay.
I don't have access to it, so you're gonna have to read it. So
I can email it to you. Don't worry, you will have access shortly.
Why do I gotta read your stuff? All right. What's up, Amy?
Here's a little baby.
Mm.
That's your baby, right, Chris? That's not like the spirit of Robert's baby coming through the live stream for him.
That's your baby, my actual real live baby making all the noises here.
I love
what we don't know is Robert's somehow in the stream and we don't know.
Yeah, he's actually sitting at the hospital. You got this, babe. Hang in there. On his cell phone, like, no, you're good. Watching the live stream so we can make sure we do it well. Robert, you better not be doing that.
Robert's gonna get right. You better be watching.
I sent my wife a meme yesterday. It's appropriate here because Robert's in the hospital. His wife's giving birth. It was a picture of in the hospital room of a woman full on giving birth, and over the picture, the hubby over a pizza box where he's eating pizza, watching his wife, and it says, "It's not delivery." It's because she's delivering the baby.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was hilarious. I was like, I'll probably get smacked for this one, but it's great.
That's fantastic. But I have to say, if anybody was eating while I was giving birth, I would be so ticked because
that's exactly what my wife said. She said, no, if you were eating pizza, I'll kill you. I'm like,
I was
but
so
you could be hungry afterwards too. No. She's like, no.
Okay, so we'll try to get back on topic. I will look for Chris's craziness that he wrote. So Walt, you want to start then? We'll get started with you. I'll let you tell us what.
Yeah, absolutely. So one problem or challenge we faced this week.
Yeah.
This is a weird one, but it just highlights what an awesome group we have. So I got a brand new listing referral, and I am about to fly to Canada for a week. So I'm like, I know they want to get this on the market right away and they want to get it sold right away. It would be irresponsible of me to take a listing knowing full well I'm about to leave for a week and a half from when we listed it.
Yeah.
So that was the problem. It's like, it's a good problem to have. Like, I have listings that I can't service. So the beauty of the group that we're building, this massive empire, is I was in like 15 minutes, I was able to reach out to another local agent from the Carbon Club and say, hey, I know you're relatively new. You want another listing. You're killing it. I see you're putting things together. Here's the info. Can you do this? Yeah, great. So I was able to link that seller up, keep it in the Carbon Club family, and give another agent a listing to help them build their business. So
that's awesome.
That was one of the greatest problems to solve right there, is how do we move more business around? It was awesome. That's and then for what I was excited about this week, agents are just out there killing it. I love it. I feel like I say that every week, but there's just wins and there's wins and there's wins. And I love it. And Facebook user says, and you got 25% question mark. So here's what I did, Facebook user. I let the agent take the listing. He'll pay the referring agent 25%. I don't want any of it. I just want them to grow their business. I said, you got it. Don't pay me any extra. You're already going to pay 25% to the referring agent. I don't need your money. Just go build your business. So I didn't take anything.
I love that. I was just actually talking to somebody yesterday that is really big on doing that with the team that he's building, and not taking the splits and just helping them grow their business. So I'm super excited, y'all. I did my first podcast. Well, I did 2 podcast interviews yesterday. So I am super stoked to get those out. So
what do you got on the schedule coming up? You got a whole bunch of them planned out?
I wish. I reached out to a couple of people that said they wanted to be on it. Right now I've got 2 more scheduled. So, and I do have 3 other people I actually have to reach out to that may be possibles. So
good.
Yeah. So Chris, did you email me the thing, or are you going to read it yourself? I can't.
He's on mute now.
He's on mute.
I can't get like undistracted from shaking this stupid thing long enough to like do anything or even think straight. Because she's just like not happy. She's not happy if there's not something going on. So this is going to be me.
The camera.
She's mad because you're not out there closing deals right now. You're sitting on your duff.
Oh my goodness,
there she is.
Oh my goodness, she is so cute.
Look at that.
Let's try this. All right, tell them
the
all
new
the
member.
Stuff. Call me, Riley.
Oh my goodness.
You tell them all the stuff.
Riley, say, "Baby Bean, come play with me." Where's Baby Bean?
Hey,
She's like, I don't know, but there's a lot of lights and colors.
Yeah, did you see her eyes? She was like,
love it.
It's so adorable.
I love it.
We've been attacked by baby. I'm okay with this. I'm totally okay with this. Okay,
I don't want one.
She's happy now. Yeah, like this was. She's being quiet now. She's entertained. She's like, oh, okay.
We'll be her entertainment.
That's how I am. If you entertain me, I'll be quiet too. Otherwise, I get loud and rambunctious.
All right, Chris. So, do you have anything that you worked on this week, focused on, had a problem with that you solved, or?
I can't even think straight now after the 15 minutes of sounds, then yelling and screaming. Okay, that's now that's what makes me not think straight. Yeah. Okay. You stay in the
jobs of a daddy.
Yeah. What's the first question?
What's a problem or challenge you faced this week with the team?
So trying to generate, that's what I answered. Trying to generate content on the groups to keep them engaged and help start growing those. I did meet with one of our preferred vendors, and we're going to start partnering together a lot more. We scheduled a 30-minute meeting yesterday and ended up meeting for 2 hours. So
that's awesome.
So that worked out, and then we scheduled a follow-up today. Robert was supposed to join, but that's probably not going to happen, so we're going to have to make do without him. Luckily, my wife will be home here in probably 20 minutes, and we'll take over this little critter. So then I can get back to thinking straight, hopefully. unless my brain's completely wiped out. So really leveraging partnerships a little bit more, and shout out to Jennifer Otto. She's got a lot of content. We're gonna be putting some stuff out, doing some webinars and doing a lot of different trainings, and really get some stuff on the calendar, get that stuff ramped up.
Nice. Okay, well that works. I guess that answers the question of how you solved it as well. I saw that you've been posting some extra this week anyway, so
I've been posting more, just trying to stay active. I know I've not been actively chasing new business.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's so terrible.
See what happened when you said you're not chasing new business?
I know.
Listen, that's a lesson for all of the agents out there. You have to constantly be prospecting for new business. Even the child knows it.
Poor thing.
So I've not been chasing new business primarily because of spending so much time helping agents. Yeah. I've been focusing on a lot of that, but I've got bills to pay and I'm buying another house, and I gotta put myself out there and drum some stuff up and make some money. So, so that's why I've been posting more consistently, getting myself out there, and it works. I mean, you just never know what something's going to hit. Even just sharing somebody else's post about some storage units. I got a call from Tyler Gibson out of Orlando today saying that he might have an investor that could be interested. So all it takes is, sharing some content sometimes, and the network, as your network grows, maybe we partner together on it. Maybe we both are able to get a sale out of that.
Yeah.
So, I love splitting stuff with people and everybody making some money. I don't care. It's all about the teamwork. So
I love that.
I like sharing stuff, like seeing other people be successful as well.
Yeah.
So,
I have to say that was actually something I was talking to my husband about yesterday is, I know Irene's been working on adding some additional people into her TC pipeline so she can help more agents, and to see everybody kind of like jump in and help and, throw her name out there and praise her was really cool. And I know I see that with, when we're shouting out people in Florida or people that we have in Chicago and things like that. But it's really neat to see the group as a whole, like everybody just start praising them and letting everyone know how awesome they are so we can help drum up their business as well. And that to me is like one of the coolest things that I've seen amongst any brokerage or team or anyone that's in this industry, is just everybody kind of collaborating together to help everybody's business grow.
Well, that, and when you got like 70 people partnered together doing that, and like 30 of them might actively post for that person, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's been a really cool thing. So I know that Walt, I don't think you got a chance to say what were some of your favorite moments this week.
Just seeing all the agents crushing it is always my favorite moment of the week. It sounds so silly. Like I love seeing other people win. That's it, man. And we've got 70 agents in the family, and I would say consistently most of them are celebrating in some way. Either they're closing a deal, they got a new deal, they're working a new client, they've built their business in some way. They're leveraging a new strategy, and it's working for them.
Especially the ones that show up to meetings and plug in and implement.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So anybody that doesn't show up and doesn't implement, you can usually tell within their business that's there.
I got a note yesterday from an agent who was on vacation, and he's like, "Hey, Walt, just got back from vacation, settling back in. Can I call you tomorrow? I'm putting some new strategies in place to do what you're teaching. Can we dive on?" I'm like, "Yeah. Happy birthday to me. Let's get on a call and grow your business."
That's awesome.
Right after this call, I'm actually going to jump on the phone with him and talk about some stuff. So, love it.
I love that. I do. I really do love that. Even from the other company that I came from, and nothing against them, because that was one of the reasons why I joined, was because that was the big talk, was how much we'll help you and how much we're going to get you growing, and we've got all these classes and da 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 da. And while the classes were great, and I did meet some fantastic people. I do feel like it kind of fell off, and it really was only those ones like Walter and like Chris that really want people to grow. It wasn't a huge collective, right? It was like those few and far in between. And then you still had to go and find them to try to ask the questions and stuff like that. So I love that we do come together on such a huge scale, and everybody is just willing to help right on a moment's notice, with whether it's in the Facebook Messenger or private message or whatever's going on. So she is just ready to go. So I was going to ask Chris, but we'll move from Chris for a second. So Irene, did you fill out your form?
In her head,
I did fill out the form. All the stuff I just told you was on my form.
I know. I said Irene because I thought the baby was whining, so I didn't want to interrupt you.
But you said you were going to ask me, but I thought you already asked me all the questions.
I was going to ask you what your favorite moment was this week.
Oh, my favorite moment. Oh, I gotcha. This right now is not my favorite moment. This is a lot of work. Yeah, you're a lot of work, kid. Yeah, Daddy's trying to get real job done. Yeah, the one that pays the bills, so you can have.
Welcome to the real world of real estate with children.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all the stuff done. Yeah.
If we hear that a lot from new agents, like, hey, I'm getting into real estate. I'm a mom, or I'm a single mom, or I have a couple kids, whatever the case. It's real. Hey, listen, it's real life. We get it. We get it.
Yeah.
You can still be successful with some kiddos. It's a challenge, but you can do it. Hang in there.
Yeah. And I found something that was really cool. So there's a lady that I follow. She's a huge coach out there, and she was talking about work-life balance. And she's got 2 young ones. They're both under 5, and she runs 2 or 3 different businesses on top of her coaching and stuff. And she said that she doesn't use the term work-life balance because she said she feels like her life is more like an orchestra. So it's sometimes the violin is playing, and at other times the trumpet is playing. And she said that's kind of how her life flows, is in that direction. So sometimes she's working on her business, and that means in the middle of it, she's got to stop and take care of her kids or whatever the case may be. And then it kind of comes back together. So instead of trying to do this balancing act where you work here and then kids down here, like we all know that doesn't work. I mean, I have teenagers and they still interrupt me sometimes when I'm in the middle of doing stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing? So it was an interesting term that she used, and I never really thought about it that way, because if you think about it, in an orchestra, there's tons of different types that are going on, and you hear music or sound from one and sound from another, and they kind of collide together, but they work in unison. And I was like, well, that's an interesting way to put it, instead of trying to balance, work here and then life here, and then how does that balance out? So I thought that was a really neat perspective on a different way to look at how you balance everything within your life, along with having, especially young kids. That's a huge thing. And I would say, honestly, for anyone that's out there, if you're in the real estate world and you have young ones, like leverage, like Walt was saying, find someone to help you. If you know that you don't have the time for it, find someone to partner up with you. I mean, it's still, if you need the deal, I get it, but working with someone to at least still make sure the deal goes through is 10 times better than trying to do it all on your own and then everything falling apart because you thought you could keep it together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Irene, did you have any problems this week, or any things you needed to touch base on?
No, actually, I think that's why I didn't end up filling it out this week. Cause I didn't really have any problems. It's actually been pretty smooth sailing, which hold on. 1, 2.
Just counting transactions. I like it.
So as of right now, we have got 10 transactions going for August. We have got,
that is fantastic.
And only 3 of them are Chris's.
What? Even better.
Yeah. Only 3 are Chris's. And since I am the admin on Dot Loop and I see all the notifications come in, I'm pretty sure Cam wrote a contract. So there may be another one. And I've seen that Andrew wrote a contract. So we've got a few more coming in, maybe for kind of fill out the rest of August. But yeah, as of right now, knock on wood, we have 10 contracts going.
Nice.
That is freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love that.
And to hear you say that they're going smoothly, for anyone who, I mean, this is week 30. For anyone who ever watched any of these in week 5, week 15,
Yeah.
the constant theme was, help me help you. I'm trying to get your transaction smooth. I need your input. I need your documents. Communicate with me, please.
Yeah.
And to hear you say there's 10 transactions going on and they're running smooth, that's a huge win in my book, because that means the puzzle pieces are starting to fall in line and agents are starting to understand a little bit of input early on allows you to take a burden off their plate so that they can go build their business. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Out of our 10 that we've got right now, only 3 are not broker approved. And it is only because earnest money is due by like August something.
Wonderful.
That's it. Everything else is all broker approved. All docs are in. Like, just sailing on to close pretty much.
Beautiful.
Fan-freaking-tastic. Hey, let me ask you this, Irene, since you're a licensed agent producing and a TC, is there anything that you would suggest communication-wise to anyone that has a TC, is looking to add a TC to theirs, or has used one in the past but felt like it didn't work out? Like, are there any strategies that have worked best for you for communication to help with the agents that you work with?
I mean, the biggest thing I would say is if you're looking at adding one, add one, especially if you're a high producer or you're just not a very organized person. I mean, you can have just one deal, but if it's hard to organize your time plus that one deal, I would say get one. I mean, there's a lot of options out there. I would recommend myself. But yeah, I mean, it opens up so much. And after seeing, which that's the next question, which is one of my favorite things of the week, is seeing everybody comment on the post about me, seeing my name pop up 7 or 10 times on a post saying how good of a job I do. I mean, next to feeling like I do pretty good, seeing it from everybody and hearing that I'm actually doing good and that I'm helping them in their business. As an agent myself, it makes me feel good because I know how important it is to get deals, to close deals, and to keep going. Because the minute you stop, then you don't have any deals going. So to keep pushing and having things down your pipeline, I know it helps having somebody in the background making sure that everything you have going is closing.
Yeah.
And not having to worry about that.
And I would say too, to everyone out there, if you guys have phenomenal people that help you get your deals closed, whether it's this amazing title company that constantly keeps you updated or a TC that's constantly taking care of things for you, make sure that you're telling them this, or find out something that would be beneficial to them, right? Like, I know Irene loves coffee, right? So stupid, simple things like that, like a thank you card with a Starbucks card, like that is going to make such a difference. And it also lets those people know that are working behind the scenes how much they are making a difference in your business, besides just a quick, oh, thanks, you're fantastic, thanks for getting that done, right? Like, really show appreciation, because I really do feel like when you return that favor in a big way, and they're going to push even harder to make sure that your business continues to strive, right? And then it's a win-win for both sides, instead of, you saying, oh, well, my team's great, but you're really the one that gets most of the credit. Like, I really do believe in shouting the people out that do help in the background. I think that's a huge thing that more of us should do.
Yeah,
I like all the things you said, but my strong suit is leading with getting that person more business. So telling the agents on the other side about Irene and trying to loop her in for a person that needs a TC.
Yeah,
I find that's where I personally find the value and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mind small things, but I would rather, I'd rather my business grow. So that's usually what I look towards. And every person's going to be different, but I look for ways to try to help Irene's business grow. That's my I guess labor of love on that side.
But that's great though, because see, you took the time to understand what her goals were.
Right.
Even though she's doing the TC side, you took time to figure out what her goals were and what she was striving for, so that she can still continue doing what she loves to do and be able to be home with her kids.
Right.
So that's another big point, right? Like, make sure you understand those people's goals and what they're striving for, what they're trying to achieve, so that you can help them in that way.
Coffee's great. Referrals are better. That's what I always say. I'm like, I don't need your money. I don't need your food. I don't need that stuff. But you got a buyer or seller. You got a client, whatever that you want to introduce me to, new client. That's what I need. So.
Yep.
Everybody's different.
No, I totally agree. So.
Coffee gift cards. If anybody ever gets me a coffee gift card, it goes straight to my wife, which is okay too, because she likes it. She's happy about that stuff.
Well, we kind of need to keep her happy too, right? Since she's
that's true.
She's part of your team for sure.
Yeah.
Very true.
The $17 coffees add up.
Why is coffee so expensive? Okay,
I don't know. Coffee's not that expensive. They make it expensive by like giving it non English names or just typical American names.
Where we get to charge more because
they call it you call it venti, and all of a sudden it's worth more instead of just like large.
Yep. My husband's always like, it's so dumb, all their names, because grande in Spanish is literally large, and he was like, why is that
like grande means large, but it's not grande. It's not actually large there.
Yeah, he's like, it means medium. That's so dumb. He was like, why can't that one just be the big one?
Yeah.
Maybe Starbucks was confused.
Yeah, and venti means 20, so that's not even remotely a size.
It's 20 ounces. That's why
I don't think it is. But I don't think it is 20 ounces. That would make some sense.
I don't think it's 20 ounces either.
Yeah, it's not 20 ounces.
It just sounds fancy.
I'm sorry. That immediately, every time that I think about venti, it takes me back to that skit. I don't know if anybody has seen it. It's in a movie where he is just like, the guy is losing his absolute mind, and he goes in to order a Starbucks and he asks for a large, and she's like, it's a venti, and he's like, no, a venti is this, a grande is this.
Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages. Yes, I love that.
That's all blood.
Every time somebody talks about it, that's exactly where my brain goes, is directly to that.
My wife sent me that one day, and it's like, oh my God, this is you. I'm like, he's not wrong.
He wasn't. So. Oh gosh, I love that. Okay, so let's fill it with something else. What's something else that we've been? Oh, accountability groups. That's been a really cool one. I got to kind of listen in on the meeting on Wednesday to hear about how the Carbon Club's accountability groups have been going. So Walt and Chris, like, what are you guys' opinion? Because I know I'm not a part of them right now, but I really feel like, I know this is the second round, that I don't know, having other people lead other people for some reason, it's more like a collaboration, and everybody wants to help each other, but they also want to keep their what is the word I was looking for? I just lost it. I was paying attention to Chris. But they want to keep their standards or the things that their goals that they've set, and they're striving for them, versus like, in your corporate world where you've got to have that boss that's the one that's telling everybody, this is what we need to do, and then that's what they're striving for. I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like people are striving more and at a pace that works better for them, where they can be happy with what they're getting to.
The accountability groups are amazing. I look at it this way for me personally, right? So I'm always getting absolutely weird. I don't know how it happens, honestly, but I always get people that will reach out to me, agents will reach out to me, and the conversations are similar. They'll say, I see your name everywhere. Do you do one-on-one coaching? And I'm like, why are you seeing my name everywhere? That's awkward. I don't see my name everywhere. But then I usually tell them, I just did it the other day with another. I said, listen, I don't do one-on-one coaching because I'm coaching 70 agents all the time. And that's my priority, is my immediate real estate family. And while I'd love to help everybody, to do one-on-one, I would have no time. And so we get in this conversation about, well, what if we did like a group coaching session where there was 8-10 agents at most, and we all got together for an hour and we did a Zoom? That's our accountability groups. Mm-hmm. It is literally a group coaching session where, rather than learn from one schmuck in a Hawaiian shirt, you're going to learn from 6, 8, 10 different perspectives, 10 different personality styles. You're going to get input from agents that you might have not have even thought to ask the question, but they've got the answer to that question because they've seen it already. And maybe one of us as in the leadership roles haven't. So I look at our accountability groups as literally mini coaching sessions where you're getting coached by your peers in a super chill, super, non-judgmental, very relaxed, very supportive way, but you are literally getting coached by your peers because they bumped into something that you are bumping into now, and they can resolve it for you. I think that's part of this. We don't really talk about that because it's all about, well, accountability is set your goals and let's talk about them. But that coaching flavor to it, I think, is why so many people are going into the accountability groups and then going, this has been amazing. I'm accomplishing my goals. I've made more goals. I've made them bigger now because we're moving in the right direction. Yes, the accountability itself is part of that, but just the collaboration of the other agents, I think, is huge. I think that's a big, big part of why they're so successful.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chris?
I no longer have a baby now. My wife just got home, so like catching up a little bit. But what was the question?
We're talking about the accountability groups and just, what are your thoughts on it, on how it's helping people, and do you see the value, the second time around that, like Walt and I were talking about, where everybody's collaborating and striving for their own goals, but it seems like they're getting there quickly, or more, they're getting there quicker than they would if they had like a boss over their head that was just telling them this is what you need to do.
For sure. Yeah. I also think that it's building better relationships with other agents as well. I think they're getting to know each other much better, and it's giving them that sense of community that a lot of agents look for. That where it's the small group. I look at everything we do like church. So I try to relate it to church. So if you take like a mega church, so let's say we've got EXP is like the ultimate big dog mega church national brand, right? Then we have Honey Badger Nation. We have the next level size. It's like your local mega church to some extent. And then you've got Double Your Income Coaching, with like another subgroup. And then you've got Carbon Club subgroup. And then you take it to this like super intricate group where you've got the 6 people that are keeping each other accountable and you're getting to know each other. That's where like everything kind of, to me, combines, and they get the relationships. They get everything that they're looking for. They get that support. They get the help. They get everything they need. In my opinion, that those groups are super. So I mean, I don't know how else to describe them.
No, I think it's fantastic. You always hear about other brokerages or other places that are like, oh, we'll offer you accountability. But it is, in a sense, if you're constantly on top of someone, to make sure that they're going to be your accountability partner, right? But it's not the same as the platform that I feel like we have as a whole, not only within the team, but within Carbon Club, where everyone gets to collaborate. And I think it's really neat too, because it also allows those that do like to serve and that do like to help people, or those that are nurturers like I am, to be able to take that platform and run with it, right? And really grow into kind of that coaching role, right? You're helping, on to your best abilities, but you really are helping other people, which then again builds you up for the things that you enjoy doing. And I also think it gives you a platform to understand if there's something more that you want to do within your real estate career, instead of just selling homes. Like maybe you enjoy this so much to the point that you want to build your own team because you want to be able to coach agents all the time, and that's your thing. Or you want to do some coaching on the side with people one-on-one because you enjoy doing it so much. I think it opens up, a lot more doors for people to be able to figure out more of what they do enjoy and what they don't enjoy, so that they can really figure out where they want to be in this business. I think that within real estate, and I was just talking about this with the one gentleman on my podcast yesterday, is so many agents get into real estate, but they don't find their own direction. They go to the direction of 15 other people, right? Whatever this person is doing, that person is doing, this person who's made multi-millions and stuff. And it's something that I talked about on my personal page and did a video about, is just stop. Like, look at what it is that you've been through. Look at your other past careers. And then from that, you can figure out where your niche is within real estate. And that may be that, you know, like Tyler, you like doing investing because that's the thing that you really like to hone in on, and you got involved in it. And so now that's where you want to grow, right? Or you want to do FSBOs. Like, so we have Ray and his wife from the Carbon Club that enjoy doing the FSBO side, right? Like, you've got to find that niche. I feel like that is just not talked about enough when agents get into real estate, because there's so many things thrown at you and like, oh, you could be this person and you could be that person. But if your goals don't match up with that super amazing person that's, you know, all over the freaking place and got their banners everywhere, if that's not where you want to be, you're now pushing for somebody else's goal instead of striving for your own.
Yep.
Yeah. So the other thing I've noticed with the accountability groups is by letting the agents lead it, it's providing an opportunity for agents that would not initially see the value or would not initially want to do it to then lead the group. I mean, I've talked to several of the people that are like, look, if I wasn't leading it, I wasn't even going to show up. I wasn't going to do it. So I better lead it. That way I'm responsible for it. And then they actually appreciated leading it after it's said and done. They were like, man, I didn't think I was going to like this. I didn't think I was going to want to do it, but I know that I probably needed it. So they just went all in. And, you know, I've seen, and I'll give a shout out to Sam here. As a newer agent, he's a year and a half in now, maybe a little under that. I think it's brought out some great qualities in him. And I love seeing him kind of shine, just leading something and giving him that role to step up and you know, take control of both his business and some of the relationships that he's building over time. I think it's good for him. But it's shown me some of the traits that he has that I couldn't always see otherwise. I think he's super smart and doing a great job leading the group that I'm in currently. And shout out to Ray as well. Ray did an awesome job whenever I was in his group last time. Super motivating dude that grateful to be partnered with him as well. So.
Speaking of people that have come out of their shell, you know, you're talking about Sam. Camellia is another big one. Like, I love her to death. And when I first met with her, like the biggest thing she kept saying was, you know, I'm an introvert. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, you've got to find your people. And her leading the accountability groups, like, she has blossomed. I feel like she has come out of this shell. Like, she can no longer call herself an introvert. Like, you can tell that she like seriously enjoys leading other people. And in turn, it's also helping her grow and push herself in her business, which I think has been fantastic. So yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that it definitely gives people a different perspective of where they could be in their business. Definitely pushes people out of their comfort zone, right? But as you know, we all talk about, you can't grow where you're comfortable. You've got to be uncomfortable and push through that to see where it's going to get you onto the other side.
Yeah.
Right. So
soil has to be toiled, or soil has to be churned and broken and marred up before anything will grow in it.
And there's a lot of agents too that won't either take the time or are scared to reach out or whatever else, even though we tell them like, hey, look, we're here to help, whatever, let us know, we'll answer your questions, yada, yada. There's a lot of agents that if you've never talked to them one-on-one, they're going to be scared to reach out. Yeah. But Camellia, once again, breaking out of her shell, you know, a while back, she straight up reached out to me. She's like, look, I've got to change my business. I've got to change this around. And I told her, I said, well, number one, you know, what took you so long? I think she was just kind of standing in her own way. But now she's like, you know what? I'm here. I'm going to kick some butt, take names. So I love to see it.
Yeah, I think that's a big one too, is a lot of people do get caught up in their own head when they get started in real estate, right? Like even if you come from a sales, unless you've been a hardcore salesperson, it's very easy to be like, well, I'm going to try it this way. Right. When all these people are like, but if you would just ask, we'd be more than happy to help. So many people, I feel like they're afraid to show that they don't know what they're doing. Just,
They also, a lot of them think I'm too busy, which sometimes I am busy, but if you ask anyone whether or not I answer my phone, anyone on the team, anyone in the downline, when they text, call, whatever, you ask anybody, I pretty much always answer, or they're good to call back within any amount of time.
And I think that needs to be a reality check for anyone that's in the real estate business is if someone tells you that they're going to help you, reach out and ask them to help you. Because if they're too busy, let them be the one to tell you that they're too busy. And then you realize that, okay, well, they said they would help me, but really they're too busy and they can't help me. Otherwise, reach out and bother them. I mean, I funny enough, I reached out to Jake Ender. I was like, you know what? I want to speak to somebody new. I want a different perspective. And he says he'll help everybody. Let's see what happens. I had an email within 24 hours and a Zoom meeting in 48 hours.
There you go.
And I know he's busy. Yeah. So that was super cool to be able to reach out and talk to somebody that's at that level. And I was like, oh God, he's not going to have time for me. He's not going to want to listen to me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to send the email anyway. Like I have to say I was a little nervous on, but for anyone.
Hey, go get Brent Gove on your podcast. He'll show up.
Oh yes.
Go get him. He'll do it.
I may have to reach out to
we're in his downline.
But yeah, I do. I feel like we do stand in our own way when it comes to that we've got these fears in the back of our mind, like, oh gosh, they're going to be too busy. They're going to think that I'm annoying. Here's my thing. And this is what I told myself when I decided to reach out to Jay was if they say that they're going to help and they say that they want to be there for us, then why shouldn't I? Worst case scenario, they don't answer and they really are that busy and I'll just move on about my way. But it's not going to kill me to send an email that took me 30 seconds to write.
Nope.
Yeah.
Or a text message that's going to take you 20, 30 seconds to write to say, hey, I'm struggling. Can you help? See what happens. Like, what's the worst case? They're going to say no. Well, hell, you're in the real estate business. Guess what? A lot of people are going to tell you no.
I love when people tell me no. I don't mind. Like, that's okay. I'm going to reroute. I'm going to go chase after something else because every no, I'm like one step closer to a yes.
Yeah. So there's two great learning points there, I think. One is as an agent, new or otherwise, there are people wanting to help you. There are people like Chris that genuinely care about giving their time and energy and effort to help other people. You have those people. Leverage them. Reach out to them. The second learning point there is if you take it upon yourself to reach out to the people that you believe are there to help you, and you know, whether they're in your brokerage, whether they're on your team, whether they're just by association, you know them. If you reach out to them and they genuinely don't help you and they're not going to invest time in you and they're not going to give you their time, their energy and their resources, find other people because there are, and I'm not talking about us, right? We're here too, but there are tons of great people in this industry that actually do, right? We hear it all the time. It's a buzzword in the real estate. Well, this is a relationship business. Mm-hmm. Some people say that because they want to close a deal with someone.
Yep.
And some people mean that. And they truly understand the value of human connection and sharing the load and helping each other win together. Find those people because they do exist around you. Maybe they're not right next to you. Ask, approach them, attempt it. And if they're not the ones, be diligent about finding the others because you will grow exponentially when you start putting people in your life that will pour into you and give you their time and their resources and their knowledge. Mm-hmm. So that's for any agent out there that exists. Go find it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's definitely the biggest thing is going out and finding it, taking that leap. And to be honest, you know, like you said, if they don't want to help you, fine, go find the next person. In this business, you're going to have to get used to a lot of people telling you no anyway. So if you can't handle someone who said they were going to help you saying, yeah, you know what, I'm too busy, and that's going to bother you, you're going to struggle within your business as well. Because what happens when you've got a client that's like, yeah, well, I thought I wanted this, but never mind, I don't. Yep. Well, how are you going to deal with that then? Like it's a learning piece. It really is. You've got to get used to it now. So if you're, you know, trying to find your people, trying to find lenders, trying to find a title company to work with you and start reaching out to people. Be okay with them telling you no. Okay, well, this means I wasn't supposed to work with them. On to the next person. Like, you have got to start being okay with being turned down. I mean, like, honestly, what's the worst that happened? They said no. They didn't want to talk to you again. They didn't answer your phone call. Like, whoop-de-doo. Like, I mean, it's really not as bad as we make it seem, right? It doesn't put a mark on us. It doesn't put us out there as everybody else knowing that somebody told us no. And I really try to figure out why we struggle with being so afraid to hear the word no, when honestly, all it really does is, I mean, it hurts your pride for a little bit, right? But it doesn't destroy your life. It doesn't stop you from paying your bills. It doesn't, destroy your family. It's just a no. It's just a no.
Yeah. it's the classic fear of rejection, right? We don't want to be told no. But if you understand that every time someone tells you no, you are statistically closer to an amazing yes, you should literally have someone tell you no, your smile should get a little bigger. And when someone else tells you no, your smile should get a little bigger. Because in your mind, you're like, I am about to hit the best yes I've ever had in my business. Let's keep plowing through the no's.
Yeah.
Because I'm moving towards an amazing yes. If you change your mindset a little bit and don't worry about, well, they told me no, there must be something wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I must not be good enough for them to tell. No, it's just them. They told you no. They missed an opportunity to work with you.
Yeah.
Go keep finding until you find the one that wants to pour into you and wants to work with you.
And when you find the right vendors and you start asking them for a few things, and you can even come to them hesitantly thinking that they're going to say no, and when they're like, yeah, sure, whatever you need. We have partners that are like that. That they literally tell us, yeah, sure, what you want us to sponsor anything, whatever you guys want, whatever you need.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably not going to say no to anything. So just bring us whatever you're doing.
Well, and like Walt said, changing your mindset. I mean, really, if you look at it, instead of looking at it as I'm being rejected, you could look at it as, you know what, then I'm not supposed to work with that person. Like, that's not my people. They may be for somebody else, but it's not meant for me. It's the same thing with deals, right? Like, we have so many, especially newer agents or those that are struggling in their business that are like, I can't lose this deal. It has to go through, but they're horrible. Then don't work with them. Because in my personal opinion, like, that's a scarcity mindset that if you don't close that deal, you're not going to have another deal that's going to come. You can still have more deals. And to be honest, you could be preventing yourself from getting in front of more deals because you were spending so much time trying to work with the most difficult person you've ever dealt with, which is stressing you out beyond your belief. And here are all these opportunities in front of you. And you may have not even recognized that somebody was like, yeah, I've been thinking about buying, because you are so hyper-focused on the problem. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. I know that's hard to say, but get rid of them. I had a client that we had that conversation, and it came to a point. I was like, look, you've told me this, you've told me this, and you've told me this. I am doing my ultimate best to do exactly what you were asking me, but I told her, I was like, you're stressing me. I don't know what else to do for you. And surprisingly, we had a fantastic conversation after that. She backed off a little bit. She let me prove myself that I knew what I was doing. And we ended up closing a deal, and it ended up being 10 times better. Like, I really do strive for being honest. And I understand, like, you don't got to be rude about it. You can be honest to a degree, but be honest with your people, because those people are going to value what you have to say 10 times more than you trying to be the expert of absolutely everything. Oh, I know everything about it. Don't get me wrong. I know that we have people that have been in the business for quite a while that have a crap ton of knowledge. But if you are not at that point, and to be honest, I'm, almost 4 years in, I still don't know everything, especially because I don't do a ton of deals now since I focus on the consulting side. And there are times where I tell people, like, I don't really know what that answer is, but I can find out. Like, I've got enough people around me. I've got enough people that are experts in the field that I will get you the correct answer versus me just giving you a bullshit answer to make it seem like it's going to be okay. And then you wonder later why I changed it. I'm also horrible at remembering what I would make up. So I just can't have time.
You gotta be a good storyteller if you're going to lie.
Could you imagine trying to keep all that straight and making everything sound just like you're so great? You're so like, I don't understand why there's this projection of creating this non-human experience, because the human experience is we screw up, crap happens, I didn't get back to you on the day I said because something happened with my kid, but I did text you to say, hey, I do have an update, but it's going to be tomorrow morning, right? So like you can still be on top of your game and crap can still fall through. And to be honest, more people are okay with it than you think. Like everybody is so worried that, oh God, if I don't get to them and I tell them this, like, what are they going to think of me? That you have a life, that crap happens. You know, like I want that to be something that is talked about a lot more, is being okay with being human and making mistakes or not getting back to someone immediately because we are in the middle of something else, and start telling your clients that. Yep. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on that as far as scheduling in your time and really making sure that you're putting your clients first, but you're also getting stuff done that's going to grow your business?
Yeah. Well, I know this guy, he's all about time management. That's kind of his baby. So I'll let Chris answer, because
a lot of my time management is building such good relationships when I am with my clients that I don't have to prospect too much.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at a lot of this stuff. I don't, my prospecting is serving my clients so well that they will refer me business and building such a good connection with them. That is my prospecting a lot of the times. Now, do I do other stuff to generate leads? And then do I pass all those leads off to everybody else? That way they have opportunity because they're trying to build up. Yeah, I like doing that too. But as far as who I end up working with, a lot of the times now, it's a lot of referral based. It's a lot of friends. So my time spent just building relationships with people. I know you brought up it's a relationship business, but that's truly what I do. And even when I am working leads, I really try to focus more on building a relationship with them and having a connection than just trying to sell them something. Because I know if I put them on an auto search and send them some homes, if I've got a good enough connection, once something finally pops up and they're interested, we have a good connection. The connection is what's going to help me sell. The house will sell itself. But the connection is what's going to help me be the one that closes the deal. So that's really what I look at, is just building enough connections, chatting with them, asking them about their lives, asking them about that stuff, to where I don't spend a ton of time prospecting. I probably spend more time talking to different agents and helping them than I do on actually prospecting new real estate business, just because I'm at that point where I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point to be at. Yeah, so you kind of hit on something. You didn't say it specifically, but you hit on something that I harp on all the time with time management, and it is pervasive in this industry, especially for new agents. But I've talked to agents that have been in here in the industry 3 times longer than me, and they feel like I have to respond right now. Oh my gosh, I've got a missed text message while we're in this meeting. I have to, like, they have built this idea in their mind that they have to be available 24/7, 365, 366 on a leap year. I have to respond to this right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a lot of referrals for it.
Right? Right? That's
crap. Practices.
It's garbage. Hey. Quit thinking that way, agents. It's okay if you don't respond in 2 to 3 hours.
Are they miserable doing that, or are they in love with the process and actually love talking to the people and love being that person?
So if you're that person and you love it, fine. Most people don't.
Yeah, most people it's a state of being busy.
They feel busy and stressed, and they're anxious all day. And then they end their day stressed, but they didn't accomplish anything.
Yeah.
So I don't feel that stress. I feel the stress with like other things in life, but the stress about like serving my clients and taking care of that stuff and like getting back to them, I don't really feel stressed about that. Like for me, I feel like you have to love the process. As long as you love the process, the outcome will happen. If you only love the outcome, you're going to be miserable. And that's what I think is making a lot of them miserable. They feel like they just have to constantly be talking to everybody and they got to be busy, but the outcome's not happening.
Yeah.
But they don't love the process.
Right. Or they haven't refined the process enough for them to make it effective. Absolutely.
Correct.
So we see this cycle every couple of years, right? Agents will get into the business thinking it's easy. And they'll be busy. 2 years later, they don't renew their license because they didn't do any business.
Yeah.
Right.
They
That's
didn't
a
have
true
the
story.
outcome.
There's
But
no
they
outcome.
never loved the process.
Because they were so busy responding and adjusting and moving around that they never budgeted the time to say, I'm going to put my phone down. I'm going to put it on silent, and I'm going to actively build my business for a couple hours every day. And then in a couple hours, I'm going to pick up the phone again. I'm going to respond to all the emails, all the text messages, all the Facebook messengers. And if this is a fact, I don't care. You can disagree with me. In the scientific world, that would mean you're wrong, but you can disagree. I'm going to say this, and if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. It is not okay to not respond to your clients within 2 to 3 days. That is absolutely horrible. Don't you ever leave your client hanging for 2 to 3 days. It is perfectly fine to take 2 to 3 hours to get back to your client with valuable, realistic information, as opposed to 3 seconds. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And you're giving them crap. And you won't build a connection. You won't solve any problems. And at the end of it all, you will have been really, really busy, and you will have not made any money. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it.
No, I agree with that. And I that's something that honestly I had to learn, because working in the medical field prior to, like, you were constantly busy. You were constantly doing something. Like, you were go for 8 freaking hours throughout the day. Right. And so that kind of started happening in the business when I first got in, like, oh, I've got to respond to them. They need to know that I'm here for them. But then what I realized is I was putting so much effort in doing that even if I was in the middle of some task that was going to get them information, I was stopping it and then trying to have to remember where I stopped so that I could finish that task. And then things started falling apart. Whereas even now, like, if I'm in the middle of something and it is something that I know I'm doing and I need to get done, if my client calls and I have a pretty good idea of probably what they're calling about, but I know I need to focus, I'll let it go to voicemail, or I will text them while they're calling and say, hey, I'm in the middle of something. I'll call in a little bit. And then put it to the side. It makes me feel better because I at least let them know that I saw, or that they've been recognized, but I can then take it off my plate, finish what I'm doing, and then go back to them later. Because I do think that, Chris, what you do is fantastic. You're a very relationship type of person, but I do agree with Walt that you have to figure out your process first before you can get to the point of doing the way you do things. You've built your business up, right? That's a little bit different for those that are coming in or that are still working on building their business. You've got to get a process in place, and you've got to figure out in your schedule the things that you have to prioritize that are going to help build your business. And then you can start adding in dealing with your clients as needed, because now you know what you have to do and you know how to get back to it, versus the opposite, where you're just constantly focused on them. But then what you need to do over here is just floating away like that float you put out on the lake, and then you got to like swim halfway across, go catch the darn thing because you didn't think it was moving. I feel like that's what happens. So everybody, like, take a break, take a breather. It's okay. Your client's going to survive, right? Something that a very successful agent told me when I first got into business is there is no such thing as a real estate emergency. Everything can wait just a little bit. If earnest money isn't turned in, like, what are you going to do? I'm going to drive down to his house and tell him that he needs to go turn it in right there and now. Like, everything involves somebody else within our industry that we don't necessarily have control of. We can call and we can bug and we can do things like that, but we don't have control over when it's going to take place to an extent. So I do feel like everyone kind of needs to take a deep breath and remind themselves of that so that they don't get so stressed out, because I think that is why a lot of people leave the industry, because they stress themselves out.
And if you put your priorities in place ahead of time and you focus on the most important priority at the time, you will absolutely serve your clients at a higher level that will benefit your business substantially. And look at that. It's 9 o'clock.
Look at that. Right on 9 o'clock. We did good. I'm super excited. So thank you guys all for who joined us today. And if you're watching this later, please leave your comments and questions or concerns. Reach out to us. If you don't feel like you have people that are holding you accountable or, want to be on your team, then let us know. Like, reach out to us. We're here to help regardless of whatever brokerage you're with. We just want to make sure that you guys are striving within your business. So to everybody out there, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.